Danny, 4 weeks training ahead of the Barrow trip, and how's that gone for you, and how's the preparations?
Yeah, it's been good. We've had a really positive week. I think on the grass we've been able to get some good work into the group Monday, Tuesday and again today. I think naturally when you take over a team mid-season, any time you can get on the grass and that kind of sustained time on the grass is so important in terms of the tactical development of the team. So it's been a really positive week. I think we've also been able to get out and watch some games. Nicky and I got to Walsall Doncaster on Saturday, which again was a really good opportunity, bearing in mind that we're playing both teams next week. I think on Tuesday we were all out, so I went to Wimbledon Grimsby. Nicky and Yilmaz went to Barnet, Rochdale. Lorenzo went to Woking, Kidderminster, and Dee went out to Southend, Wealdstone. So I think where else did we go? Oh, Nicky and I went to Chelmsford Worthing as well. So yeah, we've seen a lot of football this week, which has been good because you're always, in terms of recruitment, you're always thinking about the next window and trying to make sure, for us with recruitment, being able to, I know we have Y-Scout and Instat and these wonderful companies now, which allows us to watch players on the screen, but in terms of live scouting and getting out to games and watching players with your own eyes, this is so important.
Yeah, and obviously you go into this game on the back of a lot of draws in your time here. You speak to the players; they're desperate, as the fans are, to turn those draws into wins.
Yeah, I think so. I think when we arrived, the team had suffered and had a run of defeats. We're now 1 loss in 8, so we've been really competitive. I think if you look at the underlying stats, they probably suggest a team that's performing in and around the top 8 against the ball. I think the disappointment for us is we've conceded 10 goals in the 8 games, and really we should have probably only conceded 5. If you look at statistics, I think probably just some technical mistakes, decision-making errors have maybe cost us, and probably there's games like the Accrington Stanley game is a game we should definitely have won. I think the Forest Green game, we were in such a good place in that game when we were 3-2 up and had all the momentum, we probably should have won. And certainly the game that we did lose at Harrogate, we should never have lost. So yeah, I think the performances have been good. But for us now, it's about trying to get value for those performances. And we keep working hard as a group to keep developing the team's understanding. I think for Nicky and I, it's always to give the boys clarity and a really clear framework of how we want to play. But it's always then to trust the players to make the good decisions and the good executions and allow the team to function efficiently.
Yeah, and obviously a lot of that's about us and what we do, but obviously we're coming up against the Barrow side who feel, that the momentum's changed a little bit for them with a victory in midweek and who are still up there in the league.
Yeah, I think there's a lot to admire with Barrow. I think Pete Wild's done a really good job there. I look at their team. I think that they have some really good players. They have a really clear way of playing. They get into the back 5 very, very quickly, and they're very, very difficult to break down. They have 3 really industrious midfielders, lots of different midfielders to choose from, a real depth in their squad in that area. And you look at their forwards. I mean, Dom Telford has always scored goals at this level. Cole Stockton. I think, Barrow, when they signed him in January, would have been the envy of most League One clubs. And I think that they're a team that has a lot of good players and a lot of experience. And it's no surprise to me to see them doing as well as they are doing. I think they're a really difficult team to break down. I think they're a team that have a real threat on the counter-attack. I think they have a real threat from crosses into the box and from set pieces. So they're always gonna be able to find goals. So yeah, a lot to like. I see a team that's fighting right at the top of the division, which is again a lot to respect when you consider they've come from non-league and had to establish themselves as a League Two club, and now they see themselves as a top League Two club, and certainly have been really aggressive in terms of their recruitment. So yeah, we respect all of that, but we're on a journey ourselves. We know what to expect on Saturday. it's a long journey for us. I think it'll be our 6th away trip in 9. But yeah, we're really determined. We're resolute now. We're much grittier than we were. We're much more difficult to beat than we were. And for us, yeah, we want to keep trying to find a really consistent level of performance.
Yeah, and where we are geographically in the country, we have a lot of journeys, but this is obviously the longest one. Will the extra time it takes you to travel on Friday change anything in the preparations, or is it just one of those things that we all know we've got to do it once a year, and the lads have just got to kind of make sure they do the right thing on the journey up there?
Yeah, I think for us, we front end our work in a week like this, so we know that we probably only have a shorter time on the training pitch tomorrow. So a lot of our work has already been done Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. And yeah, we have a really good travel, which I think is really good. The longer we can spend together as a group, this is how human relationships build and how connections grow. You have to spend time with each other, and yeah, spending time on the coach is always a pleasure for me. You know, you get to know the boys, and you know, each week we have a new player telling their story and their journey. And last Friday we had Aurora Edwards, which was just amazing story. Talked about growing up in Ghana, his mum coming over when he was 1, and tasting cornflakes for the first time, and long life milk for the first time, maybe as a 5 or 6 year old. It was just a really inspiring story. I think tomorrow we listen to Owen Goodman and his journey. So yeah, it's just great for us as a group to spend time together. I think the connections are growing by the day, off the field and on the pitch. I think you see a team that is really determined, that is fighting really hard. And yeah, we know that we travel tomorrow, but we also know that we'll have a group of supporters that have worked all week, probably have to travel on the Saturday morning and travel home on the Saturday evening, and we are so committed to giving them a really good level of performance and making sure that yeah, they are really enthusiastic and energised on the way there, and on the way home that they've got some points to travel home with. And yeah, we know that going to Barrow is not easy. They're a very good team in this division. It's not going to be an 11-man job. It's going to need everybody connected with the club to come together to get the result that we all want.
Yeah, and you talk about connections there, connection with the past. You've invited Carl Dugard into the building just to kind of pick his brains about, you know, success and how they did things back then. Yeah,
absolutely. I think it's something that Nicky and I have always tried to do. I think anybody that has Colchester United at heart and loves the club and has been with the club during successful times, and obviously Carl was part of the team that got to the Championship and lived in the Championship with Phil Parkinson as the manager. I think yeah, success always leaves clues, doesn't it? So yeah, he's been in today, and hopefully he's enjoyed being in and around the boys and watching training. But also we've been picking his brains and trying to find out about his time at the club, why it was so successful. Because I think, yeah, for us it's always to keep the open mind and keep trying to learn.